Look, insurance sucks. I'll just make it suck less. If you're an insurance agent and you're ready to maximize your true potential in the insurance world, then let's go! Before we start, let's get one thing for certain. I wasn't always out here big money earning. A page in my life, I turned it and got into insurance. But hold up, let me back it up a bit. When I was growing up, I felt restricted. From 4 to 5 houses, we got evicted. Got into construction, I was so broke during those years. Get off work, start bitching, hit the couch, drinking beer. I thought my dad was proud of me, I was walking in his shoes. But I heard something inside of me that I now know is true. Just because you share the same blood and DNA, that doesn't mean you gotta do life the same way. Quit that job, the boat, I burned it. I went into insurance, 80K in 9 months, yeah, your boy is earning. Then 300K in the next year. Man, I used to be broke and drink beer, but now we're here, let's go. Insurance sucks, I just make it suck less. If you're an agent and you're ready to maximize your true potential in the insurance world, go to bradhannon.com. I'm a health insurance hustler, Bradley Hannon's the name. I'm here to teach these agents how to play the game. I'm a health insurance hustler, one thing you should know about me. I'm a health insurance hustler, bradhannon.com.
Everybody, happy Friday. I got the California killer, Andrew Lee, in the house, man. What's going on, Andrew? How we doing?
What's up, Brad?
I just came up with that nickname for you, man. Has anybody ever called you the California killer before?
Man, I don't think so. I think you brought that up one time, and I think I do remember that. But man, I'll coin it. You'll be the one that coins it.
I'll spell it like this: Cali Killa with a K. Let me see when the comment pops up here, just like that. You see that? Cali Killa. Cali Killa.
Boom, man! I was jamming that song, man.
I love that, dude. That intro is dope. That intro is dope, man. They all killed it on that. I love it. I love it. I love it. It really it gives me goosebumps every time because it does, man. Like there's a lot of truth to it. He got my story and he nailed it. Like he really nailed it. So it's awesome, man. But listen, for the audience that might not know you, which I'm sure there's not many that don't know you, but for the audience that doesn't know you, why don't you share a little bit of background about who the hell Andrew Lee, the California Killer, is?
Man, what's going on, guys? This is Andrew Lee, aka the California Killer. You know, I generally, if you guys don't know me, man, I wish I could have met you guys at, any of the events that are going on and the events that are continuously happening throughout the year. But I specialize in under 65, I dabble in Medicare. My niche is definitely going to be health insurance, under 65 health insurance and anything related with health insurance. And I'm in California, which is a pretty unique market, to say the least.
Yeah, boy, it's a big market, though, nonetheless. So I know you mentioned you dabble in Medicare. We won't go there. But when you say the under 65 space, are you mainly California? Why don't you break down a little bit about what you do, and then we'll dive into some of the secret sauce.
Yeah, man, let's do it. So I mainly do California. It's my thing. It's I've been in the industry for about 8 years now, and I started off doing under 65, like ACA, just ACA alternative plans. When I was captive, and when I was actually a what do you call that? Man, I'm brain farting. When you're stuck in the office.
I was wondering what that smell was, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I was captive at a shop, and I was doing all the other states, all the marketplace states, quote unquote. And when I started up my own dojo here, I never meant to go into the California market because what I knew was out there, anything but California. And, that shop taught me not to be in California. And, it just happened that way. I started doing, organic marketing here, just grassroots there. And it's just ended up being a Cover California kind of business for me. And it's been it's been a cool ride.
Yeah. So when you were captive, let's go back to the captive days. How many years did you spend in the captive prison?
So captive prison, and sorry, yeah, the word is or the acronym is LOA. It was captive, like I was
Real
locked
captive.
up.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
real captive. And so I was there for about, let's count, how old am I? Maybe I'd say about 6 years, and then I actually went into, after that that brokerage dissolved. Chargebacks, man. I'm telling you, it's chargebacks.
Yeah.
It can do somebody wrong, and so that company dissolved because of that, and I went into PNC. I worked at Allstate, and I was working that. Yeah, I worked there for like a year, and I jumped around a little bit here and there, and I was like, man, I really miss doing health insurance. I was pretty dang good at it. I wrote millions of dollars of business, and I was like, man, and my buddy, one of my friends was like, yeah, man, it's better on this other side. Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It feels good being here. We were there, and I'm doing this, and I'm at
You got a little
Allstate.
FOMO.
Yeah, I'm at Allstate during lunch break, which they give lunch breaks. I'm like
a timed lunch break too. Like, better get your ass back in the seat.
Yeah, they had like this little app. I had to time it. I was like, I'm over there just like maybe laying in my car, like eating lunch. I'm like, man, what am I doing, man? I gotta go back into health insurance, and I gotta start my own gig here. So that's how I got in, and then I just started building my business, and then here I am today.
So what's the biggest difference that you've seen as far as like, and here's what I want to share. Don't get us wrong. We're joking about, captive and being LOA and things like that.
Right.
Listen, there's all kinds of opportunities. And it is totally dependent on the person. Some people really, love that fit, I can speak to some of my friends that are running LOA shops that, are killing it, and their agents are making, 6-figure incomes and getting Rolexes and shit. So,
Right.
it really just depends on the person, and they're not all bad. So we're not trying to bash on the captive or the LOA or, any of that stuff. There's different strokes for different folks, man. And we understand that, but it wasn't really working out for Andrew. He wasn't happy. And so why don't you share kind of what are some of the biggest differences, kind of the highlights, the lowlights? I mean, there is certainly, a skill gap between, starting, LOA and being captive, and then working for an Allstate to then going out on your own. What are some of the struggles? What are some of the challenges? And, obviously the highlights of the transition?
Yeah, just to go over what you said and just to double down on what you were saying, man, if I didn't go LOA, to be completely honest, if I wasn't an LOA, if I wasn't captive, as much as I sort of had that negative tonality when I was talking about it, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that. I learned there. That's where I honed my craft. That's where I sat down on a cubicle and, competed against other people in my office, and
Right.
that really builds you. And I had really cool coworkers, and we're just competitive, man. We had a dude that used to play for the Illini. He's like the #1 shooter in Illini history. He was in our office. We had everybody just like sort of like kind of like an athlete, kind of that kind of mentality. So we're all just competing. So that sort of formed me into like, hey, this is what you got to do. You got to beat numbers. You got because obviously you have a leaderboard up there and all that good stuff when you're in an office situation. So I'm not bashing on that. That's where you learn your craft, and that's when you can reach out to people that have been doing this longer than you. And once you get to a certain point, then you're like, hey, man, I wish I can have more commission. If I just started my own business and people find that out, maybe, I don't know, year 3, 4, 5, maybe, I don't know, maybe earlier. like, hey, I need 100% of my commission. You know, I can't. I know you guys are like feeding me leads and all that, but you know, if I can find a way to do my own lead generation, then I need 100% of my commission. So the highlights were, I mean, the highlights are now. You know, the highlights are now. I mean, you know, the highlights. Man, it's so corny, but highlights the journey. You know, highlights the. I realized, like, man, once you get at a certain point, like maybe if you get to like a 6-figure income, like you're still like not happy. You know what I mean? You're still not there. You know what I mean? And then you have another goal. You're still not there. You're still not there. So I think the highlights the journey, and just the fact that I can be in a position where I could talk to you, just where I can share my story. You know, that kind of stuff is the highlights for me. The lowlights, man, it's grueling, man. Just, you know how it is, right? Just I've heard your story, and you've had your lowlights. You know, there are going to be
sometimes,
not only the grind. You know, there's external factors. You know, that comes to be that comes with being, you know, your own person, your own company, and so that I would say that's just to answer your question. That would be it.
Yeah. So now fast forwarding to, you know, you're kind of niching down into the California market. You know, if you're listening to this and you've been in health insurance for a while, you've probably heard somebody or somebody might have told you California is not worth it. I'm guilty of even saying it myself. I don't personally do a whole lot of business in California. You know, I've always kind of steered away from it or been steered away from it. So you're niching down into this covered California market. You know, why don't you share some of the, I mean, you're not a scarcity mindset type of person. So it's not like we're saying, hey, everybody that's watching this or everybody that sees replay, come work in California, right? Andrew's not scared you're going to come take his business. It's a big free, I don't even know what the population of California is, but I can promise you the amount of people that see this stream, even if it goes out to thousands of people, if everybody joined in on covered California business, there would still be more than enough business to go around. So it is what it is. But what are some of the, I mean, like why, like how and why did you just decide to focus on the CA?
Yeah, I'm not scared of you guys being non-resident producers in California. Join up, you know. But the reason why
population, by the way, is 40 million freaking people in 2019 in California. That's probably dropped by a few million now because of you know, the shit going on. But still, you know, at one point in time, there's 40 million lives in California.
Even after the quote unquote exodus of people going out into other states, I mean, it's still probably like 39.5 million people.
You're still seeing people. It's not like tumbleweeds are rolling down the streets and it's just like a ghost town, right?
Oh man, it's still packed here, still crowded here, especially in Los Angeles, man. And so, you know, it's funny. Even in this group, like you were saying, and probably in this group, there's probably 4 people that do cover California, 2 being like 2 or 3 people that live here. Maybe 1 or I don't know the numbers, but I don't see anybody talking about cover California. Like if I go on your page and look for cover California in the search bar, it's probably just gonna be me and like probably one other person that had a question about it.
Andrew just having conversations with himself.
Yeah, exactly. That and like who does California? Like I can't, you know, this and that, and then whatever, tag. But the reason why I love California is it's I might shock some people with some of the information I'm gonna divulge right now. So number one, a lot of agents are, you know, the reasons why people don't want to do under 65.
Wait, did you say a lot of agents or a lot of Asians?
That's what I'm going to coin that Medicare or not Medicare. So there was Medicare Asian or like health insurance Asian. I'm pretty sure health insurance Asian's already gone. So I do, like I said, a little bit of Medicare. So I guess for that Facebook page or that, you know, Google campaign, Medicare Asian might be there. I don't know how I'm going to do with Facebook or and all that.
There you go.
But I mean, I looked the part, I played a part, so I think I can get away with it. But So number one, a lot, most of the reasons as to why people don't do under 65 ACA is because there's no money in it, quote unquote. And also too, people are very scared of people. I just hear of people getting sniped on the marketplace, on the healthcare, all the health Sherpa, accounts and all that. Right. The NPN snipe, the good old NPN snipe, right? Where people are just and agents aren't alerted when another agent steals their business.
Right.
In California, we have our own exchange. It's called Covered California, and it is a little bit. I guess I've heard it's a little bit harder to get appointed here. It just takes a little bit longer. Once you're appointed, you're gonna have your own Covered California link, and that'd be like your health Sherpa. And it's
right.
virtual. It's so hard to be delegated as an agent, as somebody else's agent. So there's two ways you can do it. You have to like have them, the client, go and remove you as the agent physically, and then go ahead and
like they gotta kick your ass out.
Yeah, but like they gotta use their exactly the fingers on the keyboard, and they have to do work like that. It takes them to do that, or they have to wait on a phone call for like 20 minutes and then do this whole agreement thing with the agent on the line. You can't just NPN snipe. They have to do all that. So this is stickier, is what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
So I treat it more like a Met Sup policy. Once you're in, you're in. So that's one reason why I like it. Another reason is just there's just nobody doing it. It's such a vast market, like you were saying. It's so big. It's a big state. There's NorCal, there's SoCal. Where like there's so many ways to skin a cat here in terms of selling a product. Obviously, like National General, like short-term plans aren't allowed in California. There's a lot of short-term ACA replacement plans that aren't allowed here. So there's a lot of other ways that you can sort of work your way into the California market without also being in ACA too, if you wanted to get to that point.
Right. So talk about for a moment the fact that obviously there is less options. I mean, are you finding that the options that are available, your clients are satisfied with, or is it the similar situation that we find ourselves in sometimes where it's like, hey, I find myself saying this to clients, hey, listen, the reality is if there's 10 plans and all 10 plans kind of suck a little bit, we still have to choose one plan. Like, are you finding the options are keeping your clients happy, or do they having network restriction issues, or we run into the similar problems that you'll see in ACA in other states in California, or are they better options?
Just to be frank, man, I don't know what it is. I don't really get too much of customer service calls relating. Right. I don't know if maybe you can Google this, or maybe it's a stereotype, but like I think California people are just more like they don't go to the hospitals too much. I don't know if you don't look up diabetes rates or what have you. I think they just don't use the insurance too much. So I set them up to. I do my due diligence to set them up so that they're covered at the end of the day. Get them. I do an ACA plan. Get them a cancer plan, an accident plan, and then a dental vision, so that at some point, God forbid, if something were to happen, they're not coming at me. They're actually thanking me. So I set them right correctly, and also cross selling is going to get you there in ACA. You can't eat on ACA plans alone. You do have to cross sell in this business.
You can, but it takes some serious volume. It takes some serious volume to really make a what I would consider a good living off of just purely ACA. So I love that, and I want to transition into that cross selling. But before we do, like, what can an agent, non-resident agent, or even a resident agent, what can you expect as far as commissions and things and product availability in the state of California? For those that maybe maybe like I know that There's people that maybe have family in California. It would make sense to get a license there because there's, the referral business, things like that. But I'm by no means telling you that everybody on this call should go get licensed in California. But hey, if you've got opportunity, I mean, Andrew Lee is sitting here telling you, the California killer, that there is still opportunity in California. What do you expect commissions wise? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, commissions, it is true. Like I was saying, ACA alone, the commissions are, you'd have to really have volume to make a decent living, right? Especially in California. It's if you want to make a decent living, you're gonna have to make a pretty penny. You're gonna have to maybe do probably double of what somebody in Missouri's doing, in terms of volume, with just purely ACA policies. But yeah, sorry, what was the question again? I just brain farted.
What can an agent expect as far as like commissions? Like if you're selling an ACA, I know it varies, but like I always share with agents, and like the average ACA commission street level, you're like $17, $18 per member per month, $20 per member per month. What is standard for you there?
Dude, so I'll break it down like this. It's so a Blue Shield of California. So California's weird. We have Blue Shield of California and Anthem Blue Cross. It's divided into two companies. Okay. And the Anthem plan is like $9 a month. And then like a Blue Shield HMO would be 1.4%, or no, sorry, 2.4% of the total
unsubsidized premium.
Yeah, unsubsidized premium. And then the PPO is less. It's like 1.4. So go figure, do the math. Maybe for one, if for a family, maybe it's a decent, residual for 10, one person
or something.
Dude, it's it'll, some plans would be like $4, $5, $6, You'll have your Oscars, which are 18. You'll have your Molina, which is 20. Sans bonuses, they'll give out little whatever bonuses. So that's sort of what we're looking at in terms of just what it is strictly with the ACA plans.
It's ultimately, I mean, that it doesn't sound like it's that far off. I mean, maybe a few dollars here or there, that far off from your traditional ACA commissions, though. So that's a plus, I guess. And then obviously you've got cross-selling, right? I know there's less products available to even cross-sell in California. So let's segue into the cross-selling, because we are talking to somebody that's on the top producer list for Manhattan Life, qualifying for the trip right now. So hope to see you there, buddy, for sure. I hope that I make it, because I'm going to start slinging it again here for Open Enrollment, and we'll see. But either way, man. So tell us about the cross-selling opportunities there. You're doing it well. You're doing it at a pretty high level. Scotty James O'Brien gives me the little whoop whoop. He knows he knows he likes that Manhattan Life. So so what's the cross-selling look like there?
So cross-selling is, so I was so just to paint the picture here, I was doing cross-selling at other states when I was captive, and I was doing a lot of like Nat Gen stuff, a lot of and a critical illness in where you're at, Brad, Florida, it could get pretty high, like a good whatever 70-80% commission on a CI or what have you. I don't know whatever level you're at.
Definitely.
We don't have CI in California. We don't have we don't have CHAS in California for National General, at least. Manhattan Life offers those products. I believe Philly American does as well too, but we are sort of limited in what types of products we can sell in California. I just like Manhattan Life just because in California it just seems to have more options.
Right.
So just gravitating towards that, just because I can get them an out-of-pocket protection plan. I can get them an affordable choice plan. I can get them, a DVH that's a pretty, that's a pretty strong plan.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying your main cross sell in California is Manhattan Life, affordable choice, out-of-pocket protection. So if somebody's working in California, what are some of the products that you like? What are the let's go three or four, maybe 5, hey, maybe 10, whatever, 3 or 4 products that are like must-haves if you want to sell in California and make a decent, a decent amount of money?
Yeah, well, I'm a simple boy, man. I don't like to sell too many things. I just like to really be an expert on, 2 or 3 products and just know it like the back of my hand.
Love that.
Just so that I can really explain in situations, really explain when they call back for customer service as to what this actually is, and tell stories, because I've had many instances with this same product that I'm selling. If I'm all over the place, if I have like 10 products that I'm selling, it just gets a little bit out of hand. These products are changing year to year, so I like to just hone in on 2 or 3 products. I would say my favorite is the DVH for Manhattan Life.
Okay.
And that's a pretty easy sell with ACA, right? Because you need a dental plan. But
Absolutely.
the way that it's set up, the way that it's set up on Covered California is, if you go on to get a dental policy, let's say like a Blue Shield PPO, for example, on exchange, one, you're not getting a subsidy for dental. People think that you get a subsidy for dental. You only get a subsidy for the actual ACA major medical plan. So you're not getting a subsidy. And not only that, if you really look at the features of that dental plan, it's going to be what, a $1,500 max, right, that they cover. Yes, it's going to be a PPO. Yes, it's a name brand that people are familiar with. It's generally 50% off. Doesn't really graduate in value. 10%, every year for you. It just stays stagnant at that percentage. So just on paper, it doesn't make sense for the clients, right? And so the way I do it is, I'll do the ACA, do the Covered California, and then I'm going to pitch them to Manhattan Life, because just as like I talk to them like they're my friends, that's how you should talk to clients. You should just matter of fact, that's how you get business. Just stay matter of fact, stay chill, if they're in their 20s, bro, like I'm going to tell you this, just because we're talking now, man, I just have to let you know, this is what I like, man. And that kind of tonality. If it's somebody older, hey, listen, really on paper, let's really do the math, and you just have to break that down for them and really make them understand it at their core. Like, hey, if you're on Manhattan Life, or when you're on Manhattan Life, it's 60% off as opposed to 50. So do the math there. That's already, it's 10% higher, and then it's 70% the second year. All dental companies pretty much have a waiting period, right? I mean, we all know that. And it's on the third year, it's 80% off. So, and it's $3,000. I mean, in California, we don't have that other sexy select plan that you guys have. We don't have that yet. I can't wait.
It's coming.
I think so, Scotty. Let me know. But I'm like, hey, at year 3, you're at 80, and it's an indemnity policy. Also, if the doctors are in the network, just call Manhattan Life and have the doctors or the dentists be in network. Just try that out first. If not, then you can file a claim, and they'll reimburse you. So it's at that point, it's a no-brainer. It's a more powerful product.
Yeah.
And number two, I would say affordable choice. So I have a lot of people that are like not trying to do Covered California, because I have a really weird niche of clients that are looking to become citizens, that are looking to become permanent residents, and all you really need is an ITIN number or a social. And these people were, all races, Koreans, Brazilians, Chinese. I have like weird niche referral partners, but they're like, hey, I just don't want to mess with that. I only have travel insurance right now. What else can I get? Affordable choice is going to be a pretty good option for you, and that's pretty much all we have here. If you really break down all the features, it is comprehensive. Up to the doctor visits, the medicine, the hospitalization, the ambulance. It's all there on paper. It is an indemnity policy. However, your first line of defense should be, hey, you have telemedicine. You know, it doesn't really seem
Right.
like you go to the doctor a lot. You know, you can do telemedicine all day.
Right.
And also, you know, they have like that lawyer group where they can negotiate your hospital bill. So I would say, you know, if you're really scared about, you know, any type of government subsidies, or, you know, just being part of that kind of being in that system where it's going to affect your citizenship, then go with the Manhattan Life. So that's how I pitch that. And then I would say number 3 is Trail Med, because that's all we're allowed to in National General Trail Med. That's what we're allowed to sell, and it's guaranteed issue, and it covers CI and also accidents. So those are my top 3.
Man. I love it. I love it. Well, Benefit with Christy on YouTube. She said she's licensed in California. What does she need to do to sell it, covered California? What's the next steps for Christy or someone that maybe has a license in California, but they don't use it because they were told to leave California alone?
Well, step 1 would be to reach out to Cover California, and you do have to get, you know how you have to get an FFM certification to sell marketplace plans. Cover California has the same. So what you would want to first do is you would first want to reach out to Cover California Broker Services, and then go ahead and take that test, get a certification. And once you're certified to sell, then if you're with an FMO or if you're with an agency, then what you'd want to do is reach out to them and get a contract through them, right? Hit up Brad, you know, hit up anybody out there that's doing California, you know, get a contract. And if you don't want to get a contract, you're like, hey, I mean, you have the option to go direct. If you want the mentorship, if you want, you know, somebody holding your hand, if this is your first time doing this, then of course, you know, reach out to your upline, right? And then they're gonna set you up. Not only that, like I had to do it the hard way, you know. They can hold your hand through that. They can get you up and going with contracts. You know, they're definitely gonna help you out with that. So once you have that, you're ready to sell. Go generate some leads. You know, once you generate your leads, build a fan base. You know, make a Facebook group. You know, whatever you have to do, and once you have that, milk referrals, right? You milk referrals in the beginning. Like my first 10 clients, I'm like, hey, you're not getting off the phone with me until you give me 3 people. I didn't say it like that, but it's like, hey, who else do you know? Like, not like, can I get a referral? Like, who else do you know right now that needs coverage? Okay, I need 3 names, please. And then, you know, 3 names, write them down, and you call them, and then you sort of build that list, right? So, I mean, that's how I would first start off, and then you'll sort of get what to do after that, and you'll sort of evolve into your have your own flavor in terms of how you want to market and how you want to sell Cover California.
For sure, especially if somebody is, you know, familiar with selling health insurance. I mean, it's not all that different, other than the fact that you've got to go through a few hurdles with Cover California, get certified through the state. You're right; it's a state-based exchange. You get certified through their exchange, and you get contracted like you would anywhere else. You write the business like you would anywhere else, and you know, you're ready to roll. Alicio says, how do you get your leads? And then we'll take that question, and then I want to wrap up with any tips you have going into open enrollment, anything you got like your focus. I know you sell year round. I know it's not something you put a bunch of emphasis on. So just your flavor for open enrollment. But before that, how do you get your leads?
So like I said, I went just grassroots. You know, I'll post on Facebook pages. You know, I'll really work my current book of business and say, hey, you know, who else do you know? Like, you know, just really, really, like, not really get on them, but like do such a good job for them that they're incentivized to do it, right?
Right.
And then it just comes with time. Obviously, you know, it is a labor. I went the labor of love way. I did buy leads and things like that. Just didn't really work out in the way I wanted to. So started generating my own. You can Facebook, obviously, you can do your own Facebook campaigns. If you're not good at it, what I did is I first delegated that to somebody else that's good at social media, and then, you know, have your own brand, and then, you know, the leads are going to come in like that. Also, a big thing is help on demand. Okay, so help on demand, Alicio, especially, you look like an Asian brother. If you're ethnic, right? if you're ethnic, you can work your way in and say, hey, I don't know if you're Filipino or, you know, whatever you are, you can say, hey, I can help the ethnic. You can call Cover California and be like, hey, this
Wow, that's gold. That's really, really, really
So
good information right there.
So this network, or this group of people here, they're very underserved. My Filipinos or my Koreans, they're very underserved. Hey, can you can I be on Help on Demand so I can serve them, and then just toggle that into that language? And that's how I got in, into Help on Demand. Help on Demand is free leads that they give, and it's ready to go hot leads. These are people that went to the government website and asked for a Covered California representative. So when you call them, you are essentially representing Covered California. It's like, as opposed to like a lead, like a lead that you found online, or like some crap like automated like auto voice robot or something like that, right? So that's how I would get in too, because you'll get a lead or two a day. And hey, if you cross sell an ACA plan, that's maybe, I don't know, $400 or $500. You can get up there if you have more than one person in your family. I mean, you can make like $2,000 a day easily just off of Help on Demand.
Love that, man. That's awesome. While we wrap up here, any closing advice? I mean, if you didn't catch that nugget right there, if you are licensed in California and you are you have an ethnic background, you could speak another language, whatever, like that nugget is so huge right there to get involved with Covered California and, think outside the box. And I bet you that nobody had to tell Andrew that. Like, it wasn't something that, he was told. It was probably something he learned, right? He's banging, pushing and shoving every day and trying to figure something out, and, grassroots and, Hank keeping his client on the phone till he gets a referral, and whatever it takes is what I keep hearing from Andrew. So that is massive. But any closing advice to new agents going into this open enrollment, or maybe agents that are hoping for a bigger open enrollment? What are some things that you're focused on for the end of the year? What are some practical pieces of advice? You've seen plenty of open enrollments now at this point. What's your strategy? What's your take going into the cash grab season?
So I would say, I mean, it's different from Medicare's AEP. OEP has a different kind of feel, because I mean, you don't want to feel like an order taker, but it just seems like they're flooding in, and it's just obviously easier kind of sale, right? It's an easier consultation. It's right. Hey, do this, do that. This is the time to get it. We're on a time crunch. You want to do this, or like now's the time to do it. Let's get this going, right? So what I would say is hit it hard. AEP, I know for Medicare agents, they do get very tired at the end. With this business, you don't get really tired, because all you're doing is just inputting information. Boom, boom, boom. Health Sherpa this, or Covered California that, and then you're on to the next one. Easy, right? Yeah. It's a 15-minute conversation. It's a 20-minute conversation at most, right? If you're really, really honing in your talk path. So just hit it hard. This year being what it was, we had open enrollment all year long. So, it was pretty much open season for all of us, so we're blessed for that. But we never know what 2022 is going to give us, with everybody being, vaccinated, and everybody just sort of, being a little bit more at ease with COVID. I don't know if there's going to be any more extensions. I don't know if we're going to have that opportunity again. So it's going to be like traditional open enrollment. Like, just got to go in, got 45 days to do it. Boom, boom, boom. And, by
75 technically in most states, but
is it? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Those 75. And, that last week you should be doing like 7-8 apps a day. I'm not to intimidate or anything like that, but it should just be at a point where, you'd want to get there, if not more. But if you're the average agent, and just like, just somewhere in that area, just because what you want to do is you want to give them that, hey, like, now is the time to do it. Let's get this going. That last week should always be like, let's get this going. Come on, what are we doing? Like, that kind of attitude, right?
I love it.
Yeah. So that's what I'd recommend. Just hit it hard, because it's not such a hard sales process.
Yeah, it is. It is what you make it is essentially what he's saying. And, you know, I think that we sometimes hear of agents that it wasn't what I expected. It wasn't, there was all this hype around it, because they're technically, I mean, there really is a lot of hype around it, but the agents that, you know, go out there and they get after it and they have a high level of activity and they treat it like, you know, it's a short window of time to capitalize, and they do, they feel good about it. But it's the agents that, you know, feel like the business was just going to rain in on them. They didn't have to do anything. It was going to be a piece of cake. And, you know, when you have that expectation, you're setting yourself up for failure. So, Andrew, man, it was so great to have you on here. Great to shine a positive light on California in the underage health insurance market too, because it does get a little bit of a bad rap, just like, you know, health insurance does in general, but particularly in California. So great to have you on here, man. Thanks so much for jumping in. Before we wrap up, I mean, obviously they can find you on Facebook as long as Facebook doesn't ban your account or anything like that. But if they can't find you on Facebook, how can people connect with you? Because not everyone's going to want to work in California, but they will come across some business, man. I'd love to get you some referrals. You're the master of that space. So how can people connect with you, man?
Yeah, I mean, you can reach me at my Facebook page as well, Health Mutual Network Insurance Solutions. I know that's a mouthful.
You can tag it in the comments later. It's all good.
Yeah, there you go. So you can reach me also there. You can reach me on Facebook. I'm, you know, like Brad, I saw your post the other day. Like, insurance shouldn't be so formal. Like, dude, just like if you just want to talk to somebody, man, just reach out. Like, you know, just Facebook message me. You know, I'm around. You know, just bro, like, just let me know what you need. You know, I got you. You know, that kind of, I'm that kind of guy. So yeah, reach me out on Facebook. You know, if you want to email me, if you want to be formal, it's Andrew@healthmutualnetwork.com. But yeah, you'll generally see me lurking in the groups. And man, I appreciate you starting the group. I was actually, I remember when a group started. It was
the beginning of this year, not too long ago. Now we're up to almost 2,000 members. So
that was this year.
Oh no, it was the end of last year. Actually, my bad. The YouTube channel started early this year, but either way, man, it's been fun. It's already grown beyond where I ever expected it to. We got 2,000 members, and I think I was just looking. We grew by 400 members the last 30 days. So
insane, man.
You know, it's really shooting up. But it's the content like this that's keeping it up, man. So again, I appreciate you jumping on. And listen, I hope people understand that if they come to you with some California business, you're going to take good care of them. So again, man, thanks so much. And I appreciate it. And everybody that tuned in, appreciate it. Share this video out, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all of the good stuff so that we can push more content like this out. Yeah. Like this over here, down here, everywhere. See you guys.
Nice, man. Thanks, Brad. See you guys.